This do, Mr. Bradford.
Succeed.
Woohoo!
Yes. We are basically toothless budgies. Is that all right?
Toothless budgies?
Yeah, we succeed.
Succeeds. Oh, he's so funny.
It's the best I can do. It's not good. You still, I can't tell them the other joke. Okay.
No.
Right.
He's got too many rude jokes, and I can't let him tell you.
No, you can.
I tried it out.
I've said no, it's too embarrassing. It was too rude.
It was very funny though, wasn't it?
It was funny, but it was too rude. So you can't say
Yes,
it.
please.
No.
So what do we do? Okay. So what
Right,
do we
carry on.
Okay, so what we do is we actually try to look after 7 people who are elderly and have various needs because they're old, and we try to excel and be the best at what we do. So our job is to look after the people, and we also do our best to look after the staff that look after the people as well. So that's basically what we do. And
So
the care home.
it's Greenview Residential Care Home. How many residents have you got?
7.
And predominantly, do they have any special needs? Predominantly.
I always use the phrase that they have some form of mental frailty. That can be from depression right up to severe dementia. So there's something in between. They can have many or small amounts of different.
Does anybody know what dementia is? Does anybody?
Is it when they forget?
Yeah, it's when someone...
Have a seat.
In the memory?
Yeah,
Welcome.
that's good. Dementia is an umbrella term for different types of dementia. Anyone any idea how many types of dementia there are? Have a guess. Give me a figure.
5,
6. Go around. Go around. How many?
8, 4, 5, 9.
9. How many? How many prints are there?
How many?
Nobody's going to say
7.
7.
How many?
How many?
7.
What?
How many
Number.
different types of dementia are there?
I don't know.
Pick a number.
The majority, isn't it?
Pick a number.
7.
7 or 8.
7 or 8?
Yes, indeed. 4.
4.
1 type. 11.
What?
How many?
Okay.
It's 2, 3.
I think it's 1.
Faye.
Faye.
Okay, I'm good. You're supposed to be listening, Faye. He's asking you a question and you're on your phone.
Say number, Bob.
Is anybody in there? How many different types of dementia are there?
Just guess. 6.
6. How many?
3.
3.
4.
2 to 3.
24.
24. Good man.
What? But I was going to say
There
24.
is 120 different types of dementia.
Really?
If you think of people that have alcoholism, brain fades, that's one, and that's called Korsakoff disease. There is Alzheimer's disease, there's Pick's disease, functional temporal lobe, Lewy body dementia. Anyone who has learning difficulties will go on to develop dementia. Who knows that Parkinson's is dementia? That is also a dementia too. So there are 120 different types of dementia. So we tend to look after people. Why is it important to know different types of dementia? Because that means we can look after them in a more specific way, because we understand what that dementia may be. So, okay. What other question did you ask me?
Oh no, I was just wondering whether the people
What
knew what
dementia
dementia was. Because that is something that you're a champion for getting that message out there.
I help run a dementia festival at Sir Harold Hillier Gardens on the 26th of July, and we champion innovation, inspiration and education in dementia. And we have about 600 people come, members of the public, to find out more about dementia. We have live music, which is really good, and we have a marquee for reminiscence, we have an information marquee, we even have a virtual reality tent as well, so you can experience what dementia would be like as well. So it's a good day.
So back to the question. You tell me, what does his business do?
It's a care home, isn't it?
Together.
Residential care home?
And like you guys are the agency. Like the people. I said like it's not an agency, right?
Oh no.
Is it?
So it's a beautiful house in a village near Romsey, and it looks after 7 residents. Okay.
7, yeah.
7 residents.
And 5... 20 plus staffs.
Yeah, there's about.
Yeah, we'll come on to staff in a moment. Okay, can you click on Ishan? Thank you. What are your business aims and objectives, please?
We like to think of ourselves as, in 2016 we made Care Home of the Year for Hampshire Care Association. So that was good.
Yeah, big congratulations.
Yeah, that was good.
There's always one.
The idea is to try and, I mean, if you work for a company, you want to go around and tell people you work for a company that's good. You don't want to tell people you work for a company that's really bad. So we try and put ourselves at the higher end and do our best to maintain that situation and position in the marketplace. What else do we do? Yeah, which maintains high occupancy, and as a result of that, staff retain because they like working for the place. We do lots of nice things for staff as well. We send them nice things and we give them nice t-shirts, sweatshirts to wear, zip-ups with things all written all over them. So they become walking.
You pay your staff a really good wage.
They pay a living wage. Yeah, we don't pay national minimum wage. We pay the living wage, and they're all well over £9 an hour. So it's a lot of money.
And
so the other thing is, you all hear that care home staff are very poorly paid. They're not in my place. They're paid very well.
Good. Next one, Ishan, please. Okay, you can't see this, but I'm going to make sure this is on your Google Classroom. But you mentioned, how many staff did he say he had?
Yeah, about that. 20-something plus staff.
But on that diagram, Ian's at the top. He's the managing director / owner. Then do you want to just explain the other team?
When she says slash, she means that she doesn't mean I need the
toilet.
So yeah.
No.
So just want to be clear. Is that on the video?
Yeah. It's on the video now.
So yeah, so I basically, everything stops at the top, everything comes down from me. I have the aims, objectives in terms of where we want to be, where we want to be positioned, where we want to be seen. I help the market research. My previous job was in marketing, was in advertising. So I believe that everything we do, we need to sort of communicate to people about how good we are. We try and open house, we try and do our best to encourage people to come in and look in, and as a result, hopefully, they will tell other people about what we do in a good way. So that's...
and then down below you...
Yeah, my registered manager is the person who is responsible for answering questions by CQC. CQC is...
Commission Quality Check.
Ooh, nearly.
Go on, try getting this. What is CQC? What does it mean?
CQC.
This college is... You are assessed not by CQC. You're assessed by Ofsted.
Yeah.
But hospitals, dentists, doctors, surgeries, all care homes, nursing homes, they're all
monitored
by CQC.
You nearly had it, Ed.
Quality.
Yep.
Nearly.
Quality commission is right. The first word is what I do is. That's good. Care Quality Commission.
Yeah.
So that's what they do. They come around and inspect every year. Well, they have an opportunity to inspect every year. They don't tell us when they come in, they just turn up. So they need to know that somebody's going to be there that they can talk to. And so they get rid of us owners and they put it onto a roll and say, you have to have a registered manager. She's the lady that is responsible to CQC. She's the one that will get in trouble if she doesn't get it right. I am now referred to as the provider. So I provide her with what she needs to do the job well. She'll come back to me and say, I need this to do the job. Have they all done the quality standard statement, structure, process, outcome?
No.
It's a really good one to do. Everyone starts with the outcome, what you want to try and achieve. So if you're giving somebody a bath, you want them to be feeling really good at the end of it. The middle is what has to be provided to do that. Heating, lighting, towels, hot water. And the start is the person, sorry, that's what you need to provide, that's me. And the middle one is what the staff have to do that. So the staff become the bosses and say to me, I need this in order to do that, for us to both achieve the outcome. It's quite a good standard statement. It helps understand the process. So she will do all that, and she'll be inspected by them, and she'll be reporting back to them as to how well we performed, and she'll equally come to me and say, I need this to do the job, I need that. She'll also run all the staff and make sure she's got all the staffing rotas covered as well. Deputy manager will similarly share the role with a view that maybe one day she could step into that role. She's quite young. She's doing her MVQ level 5, which is the minimum you need in order to become a registered manager. We also have a girl that has got a degree in health and social care, who we were talking about starting to with us at a secondary school level. Has gone right up through to Winchester University and has now recently got a degree in health and social care, which we're quite proud of. We're proud of other things in terms of we've actually promoted lots of doctors and nurses going through our care stuff as well. Then I have the carers themselves, which have a myriad of skills and experience. We can employ nurses from overseas who work for us as carers, and so they provide a wealth of expertise. And we try and retain our staff. My manager's been with me 13 years. I've got staff that have been with me previously 20 years, 30 years, 10 years. So we try and retain them because you want to keep good people. You want to get rid of bad ones and keep good ones. And we also do mentoring with younger people as well. Those people that maybe wanted to have a career in caring or nursing. And it's a great way of actually going up through to universities, because when they actually sit you down and say, why should I get you to come into my university? And when they tell them that they've worked, tell them how they understand standard statements, quality, structure, process, outcome. That means that when they're sat in front of a panel, it tells them that they have an ability to learn. Because universities don't want to be taking people on, they just want to sit there and just wait till they get to the end and go home. They want people that are inquiring minds. And that will tell them that. So,
carers, and you've got...
yeah, mentoring my youngsters.
Yeah. Mentor, you've got...
my chef, my cook.
You've got catering and maintenance.
The catering and maintenance, yeah. Maintenance is what it says, cook is what it says. She's an extremely good cook. Vitally important that the food that goes in is the fuel. If you don't put good fuel in, like anything, it doesn't run if the fuel's no good. So putting good food in is vitally important. Part of the way in which we get people to come in, we say, okay, come and look around the home, but also come around at a time when we're feeding the staff, because feeding the residents, because then you'll see what food is being given to them and we think that's good. And we're always quite proud of the food we give. It's really good. Okay?
And we forgot to just mention that the carers have assistants as well.
Oh, yeah. The youngsters come in at weekend, they're part of the mentoring team. We're part of the youngsters that are on the way out, so they're part of the mentoring. We have 2 boys that come in and they learn maintenance as well, which is good fun.
Thank you. Next slide, please. We've spoken a little bit about the functional areas, but part of what you do as a managing director, as well as human resources, which I haven't put, I needed to put that. Or does your registered manager deal with human resources?
No, we tend to, she tends to, she might get someone that says, I'm interested in coming to work for him, and we'll organise an interview. We also do Duke of Edinburgh's. Is she familiar with that scheme? They know what that is?
I don't know. Do
Duke
you?
of Edinburgh's
Yeah.
scheme?
I don't know. Do you know?
You do it in school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know you did it in school.
Yeah, Duke of Edinburgh's scheme is quite good, because especially good for care homes. Because one of the things it says about is like a citizenship, and it says about, i.e., going out into the community, and it says, i.e., working in a care home. So the first thing is people look at it and go, oh, try that. And they can ring me up and say, can we come and work in your home? So they do some voluntary work for a period of time. But during that time, we actually try and make them think and make them work. We don't just get them to turn up and go home. So we engage them. We teach them how to do interview techniques. We teach them when they come in about an interview and other things as well. So we use that as a mentoring, and sometimes that gives us extra staff as well, because they'll come with interest.
Lovely. Can you just tell us what sort of finance role you play within the business? What financial stuff do you have to organise?
You all understand how a business works. You all know what a business is, yeah?
Yeah.
What is a business's main outcome? Profit. If we don't make profit, what have we got?
Nothing.
Nothing. No. Finance is it. And I try and run my business on a very simple structure, a very simple process. I have money in, I have money out. And providing the money in is greater than the money out, I'm okay. If it gets the other way around, then we have to look at this and say, why isn't this working? And we have to look at it at various times. There are pressures that come to us from outside influences, like how the country's doing, how the interest rates. You can't believe that at one time when I was doing my business, 36 years, I was paying 2% above base rate, which was 14%. So I was paying 16% interest. You just can't believe that as an interest figure now. You've never even lived through that. It was hell. And we need our bank managers considering putting the price up for us. And so we're paying an awful lot of money back. So you have to make sure that you work hard to make sure that you are working within those brackets of profit. If you're not working within the profit, you have to go back, work out how you cut costs, work out how you can increase income, and as a result of that, succeed. Like I said, 2 plus budget.
So you're always limited in terms of you've only got 7 beds that you want to offer. So
we can do daycare.
You
So
can
we
do
can actually
daycare.
come in for daycare as well.
Right.
We ended up with £4,400 in the year 2018-19 just on daycare alone. So those kind of figures help. That's a very useful addition. We can't go any further. You're quite right. So we have to turn around and say, well, look, if you want to come in my home, it's a very family-orientated, small home, very friendly. Then you have to pay a little bit of a premium to stay there. Or you can go to a home that has 60 beds, 80 beds, and you just become a number. So there is a choice. And thankfully people are making the choice to come and stay. So I'm happy with that.
So another functional area is marketing.
Yep.
And what do you do in terms of marketing?
Everything. In terms of every single opportunity a business has to do, what's the other than profit, what do we have to do? Sell. You have to sell. You sell yourself, you sell the service, you sell the product. Selling is vital. If you don't get out there and sell, you can have the best stand, the best stall, you can stand out in the best place, and what you've got is the most fantastic thing. But if you don't tell anybody, and people don't know about it, they won't buy it. So you have to sell. You have to seek every opportunity you can to put yourself in a position to say, this is something you need to buy, or even consider buying. So every opportunity. My staff wear hooded tops which have Greenview down the sleeve, they have polo shirts, they have t-shirts, which they like as a fashion. They can choose any colour they want. So as a fashion item, they want to go and wear it outside. So they're walking sandwich boards. I mean, seems like a simple thing. But you see how many of the care homes and nursing homes, they're wearing nurses' uniforms. They're not even nurses, but they walk around with nurses' uniforms. You know, it does nothing for the company at all. You've got to think very carefully how you market yourself in terms of promotion. Facebook, if you look at my Facebook page, we very carefully think about the pictures that are on there. When you see pictures of elderly people and they don't look very happy, or they're not in a good position, that's not going to reinforce the image that you want of having a happy, nice home. So you have to be very careful how you put that marketing out. We're available to be contacted through there. We have a website as well, which is the norm for every business. But we also do other things, like I told you about this Dementia Festival. We run the virtual reality tent, and I'm seen as part of the Romsey Dementia Action Group, but I don't push my business. I don't spend my time saying, because I'm part of this Romsey Dementia Action Group, you should all come and stay with me. Because you use it in a philanthropic way. You don't understand what philanthropy means? Do you know what that means? It's doing something for someone with no reward. You don't need to have something, because I do something for you, it doesn't mean to say you have to give me something in return. You do it because it's the right thing to do. As a result of that, in your mind might be, that's a really nice person, a really nice business, I will go and help them. Like, we have companies that sponsor us, but they can't turn around and say, well, I run the Dementia Festival, that this is, everyone must come to them. That's not the way we do it. The best way to do advertising is to do that philanthropic advertising. You do something and other people acknowledge it. It's not thrown down your throat that you've got to use this company. All right? So that's philanthropy. Other marketing tools that I use in terms of reputation over a long period of time. When you win awards, you have to tell people you've won awards. We've also won Test Valley in Blue. We have the gardens open once a year, and we get regularly about 300 people come. The other area that we market high is reputation from relatives that have come and used our services. At the moment, there are 5 out of 7 people that have come back to us as a result of us being involved with them. So they know about us, so they tell their friends and relatives that this might be a good place to go and stay, and they all come and stay. So they all come and stay because they know me. So that means I retain a high occupancy level. And as a result of that, if the people that come are really good, the staff enjoy looking after them as well. So I keep retaining them too. So that's my retention marketing tool. How are we doing this?
Alright, I'm just
I've got a question.
What?
Mr. Boyle, you marketing, you're not going to
Yeah, good question. What's the point of marketing and saying you've only got 7 places you can fill? What's the point of advertising more? Because if you advertise more, you're going to get more people want to come, and you can't satisfy their needs. That is very true. But I spend so much time when people make inquiries, sending them somewhere else, and often sending them to places that they didn't know existed, because they're making inquiries to me that they didn't know there's a bed vacancy service. So they're phoning around and said, how many of you phoned before phoning me? And they said, we phoned about 10. And then I say, well, you try the bed vacancy service, it will tell you where the vacancies are now. And they said, nobody else has told you that. So again, I've helped my reputation, and then they might say to other people, if I can't help them now. So it's another opportunity to sell, but sell something different. I'm selling information. And they might say to me, I say to them, have you thought about how you're going to finance your stay within the care home? And they say, oh no, we haven't thought about that. And I can give them guidance and help on that. So you can offer more things besides a vacancy there and there.
Here it is.
There it is, that's it. There you are.
Oh, that's his home. There.
36 years.
That's scalable.
You go down. This is the care home. How do I get it over into that?
Back, top, bottom right. Where do you
I want to just go above. I want to take you.
go back? Yeah. Make it smaller. Make it just make no.
There we are. Right, so that was the front. This is that was what we were looking at. It goes all the way down here. And this is his garden. Look, and it's right next to the river. This garden in the summer, hello? We're all looking at the board, mister. What are you doing? Right.
I'm looking at me.
So, I know. River here, this is all this beautiful garden. In the summer, it's absolutely stunning.
Is that yours?
Yeah.
This is,
Yeah.
that's the main care home.
It's a very old picture, I have to say.
Is it?
What's that?
Yeah, that's me. I live there in Bungalow. Yeah, I live there.
Oh, yeah.
So how long have you been
36 years.
in this place?
I was 29 when I started.
Is it rent
He used to come to the door and talk to the carer next to me and they say, no, he owns it. And then we go, what?
Lovely picture.
So
1984. 4th of October 1984. That's when I started.
You're asking
I want you to
So we're nearly done. As part of your assignment,
As part of your assignment.
you need to know about. I think you've actually described. Listen, please.
Yeah.
You've described about what your registered manager has done. So that was earlier on, wasn't it?
Yep.
So can you describe a carer's job description? What are they expected to do?
Yep, carers, we have to meet the needs of each individual person. Because we get to know them, because we do a before they come in, we have to meet the care needs, we do an assessment of the person in their home, and we discuss with the family members and perhaps the person, or any obvious needs, determine and say, you need to do this, you need to do that. So we write a care plan out, which actually says we will meet their needs, and then it's up to the carers to then meet those needs. We all use tablets now, it's all on digital form. So on the digital form it says when medication has to be delivered, and you can press the button to say I've delivered the medication. If CQC turn up now, they can request all the information that is on that person's digital chart, and we can print out everything that we've done for that person going back about 20 weeks for them to read. And we can write on there how their mood is, we can write on there how their fluid intake, food intake. So a tremendous amount of information is now stored on computers, which we now use. And the carers will preset buttons to press in order to say, I have done this. We also have a computerized nurse call system. So when the person calls and we answer the nurse call system, it's on the computer, which will also tell how long it took for us to get from the call bell ringing to see the person and to cancel.
Oh, so in their rooms they've got a little button that they call somebody.
Yeah. And as a result of that, CQC will know how fast we are in terms of answering calls and if there's been a problem. So we're monitored ourselves with our own system. And the carers will do that. The carers will do everything from getting somebody up in the morning to put them to bed in between. In my care home, we multitask. We do everything. Caring, cooking, cleaning, washing, we do everything around the person as well. We are what we call holistic. You know what holistic means? Yeah. Do that.
Multitasking.
Multitasking. I mean, holistic looks at everything. You look at everything. And if you've got an inquiring mind, you'll be saying, why is the person always leaning to one side? What's the reason why? Why is the person, when they're eating, they're only eating from this side of the plate? What's going on? So an inquiring mind will say, well, maybe if I put the plate over here, they will see more of it. Maybe they're blind in one eye or there's something going on. An inquiring mind will find answers which don't necessarily need medication, but just may need a different way of approaching things. Supposing somebody has arthritis, you know what arthritis is?
Yeah.
Yeah? Supposing they can't do their buttons up, so get rid of the buttons and give them clothing.
Magnetic.
Pardon?
Magnetic.
Well, magnetic, that's a great idea. I was just thinking of just give them clothing you just pull on. And you know, pull up. You don't need zips, or you don't need
That's a good idea,
fasteners.
though.
Yeah.
Magnetic was a good idea.
I like it. It's very good.
Now, I was thinking in like a formal way.
No, paint that. Make your own clothing range.
Yeah, exactly, Shan, that's an idea.
And when you're successful, don't forget us all, okay?
Yeah.
So, but that's the thing about using your brain and making the job interesting, changing something that makes that person's life better. It's a big thrill when you do it, a huge thrill. So that's up to the carers to try and come up with those things. Use observation and use their knowledge and skill to say maybe this, maybe that. We recently had a person that was becoming very challenging. Their behaviour was very loud and aggressive. Maybe a bit of autism, maybe a bit of Asperger's. And we've worked it around, we changed it, and there's a different way of approach, and that person has changed dramatically in the last month because of the carer's intervention. We can make a huge difference on the person's lives, massive. We can also make it bad, but the aim is to use your brain, which is your most powerful organ in your whole body, to make it better, and use your skill and knowledge, and speak up and do something. So that's a carer.
I think that's it, Ishan, isn't it? Yeah. Has anybody got any questions or anything you didn't understand?
Do you employ just 18 plus? Or?
No, that's the carer's assistants. Under 18, we're looking forward to employing a 14-year-old boy who is very close to me. And I've been nurturing him for years, telling him that we want him. And very soon he's going to be coming to working for me, isn't he, Anne?
Why do you want him to work for you then?
Because it's Anne-Marie's son.
Let's get him out to work, earning some money.
14.
Are you joking?
You're gonna make it, miss.
You got a son?
No. What is that?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of companies will not employ under 18.
Yeah.
But it's very short-sighted. It's only because of employment law, and they're frightened that something may go wrong.
Especially in like a care home, like someone applies it usually asks for 18
How can you
plus.
ask that
In
question?
a care home, so
It's bonkers.
If you want work experience, you know, Ian's been very good at giving it. So
where is it? Where is
Romsey
it?
is a bit
Romsey.
So 5'2".
yeah, it's a
But
bit
you
far
see,
away.
What's it far?
But they're crazy. I mean, if somebody wants to work in the industry, and somebody's really keen, and you say you've got to wait 2 years, you're going to find a job somewhere else, you're going to be paid money. You're going to receive that money. Money is what makes you a good incentive.